Hey, how's it going? Back with another spincast reel video, and today I have a Daiwa goldcast. And if any of you have seen my a couple of videos out about these reels, I think they're the best spincast reels you can buy. And the few videos I have previous are of an older model. That was all, I think it was a 508 RL or 510 RL. I no longer have that reel. It got broken. The foot got broken, so I just have it used for parts. So I picked these up a little while ago, and I think these are probably the best spincast you can buy. There are some more really good reels too. Zebco makes the Omega Pro and the Bullet. I don't have a Bullet, but I have the Omega Pro, and that's an amazing reel. It's really, really good. But these just happen to be my favorites. And these are still made today. And actually there's a newer model out now. Had a little bit of design changes, but I think pretty much the same inside. And these have been around since the 80s for sure. Maybe, yeah, probably early 80s, mid 80s. And you can tell the older ones, because the older ones are made in Japan, is on this real foot here. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I think they started after that. I think they went to Thailand, and then I think some were made in China. But both of these are Japanese made. And these came in 3 different sizes. There's this one's a GC80. This is the smallest one. And this one is a gc100, which is the middle size. And the gc120 is the larger size. There's not a huge difference in these. There's a bit, but not. If you compared the smallest one and the largest one, which I don't have, you'll see a big difference. So I got these on eBay not too long ago, and they're both identical. So let's open up the 100. And if you ever buy one of these, this one's in really nice shape. It has hardly any scuffing or paint loss on the nose cover at all. So this one wasn't used a whole lot. But if you get one of these old reels, no matter how old it is, if it's grease choked, this is your best friend right here, WD-40. I mean, if you don't want to go through trouble taking everything apart, you just take off the side plate, take off cover, and just spray the heck out of it with WD-40 and just let it sit. And just use a few Q-tips or a brush to clean the old grease out and put some fresh oil on it. It's really all you need. But we're going to take this one completely apart. So I'll just talk about why it's such a great reel as we're doing it. So this one has a 4-to-1 gear ratio, it's high speed for a spincast reel, of course. And this one you can put the handle on right or left. So the first thing I like to do is take the handle off. So take the little cap off here. And oh yeah, by the way, you just need a small flathead and a larger flathead, but I'm just going to use a quarter because the quarter works really well. So we're just going to take this handle screw out here. So you could just take this out and you can stick your handle on the other side if you're left-handed or whatever. I usually keep mine on the right-hand side. Yeah, probably would have been easier if I did use a screwdriver, but just a few more turns and it'll be out. So that comes out. There's a little plastic insert there, so I'm going to set that aside. And this reel is really, this reel is quite smooth. And this one has these have a fairly loud anti-reverse, but I kind of enjoy that. So anyway, the handle just pops out like that. And when you want to take the side plate off, you just turn the anti-reverse off so you can see the 3rd screw. But we're going to take these, first we're going to loosen the drag. I'm going to take the front off first. Front cover comes off. Here's your spinner head, and here's your rubber line stop. There's no cuts or anything on that, and nice beefy pickup pin. Has a roller mechanism as well. So to get that off, I'm just going to use the quarter. There's a nut right there, so I'm just going to pull that off. These reels are pretty simple. Like I said, they haven't changed in years, and if you do one, you can. I've done enough of these now that I can pretty much do this no problem. I'm not even thinking about it. So here's your spinner head off. And like I said, we got the, this reel also has an oscillating spool. See it moving up and down there, which is a great thing to have on a spincast reel. Okay, so the drag is loosened. I'm going to take off this C-clip or E-clip, whatever you want to call it. You got a metal washer, drag washer, and a Teflon drag washer. I see some people trying to get them off. Sometimes they're stuck on. And you just lift the spool and the whole thing comes off. On the bottom you got Teflon, metal, and you got this plate. We'll show you that when we put it back together. Now I'm going to move over to the side plate. So you got 3 screws here. I was using a flathead. Pretty small screwdriver, so that's 1. This one up here on the push button is going to be longer. It's going right through the push button. That's 2. I'm going to get the bottom one. That's the 3rd one. So you take your thing out. Shim washer right here in front of that, and that's just a plastic bushing. And there's your anti-reverse spring mechanism. Push button just fell out. Here's your anti-reverse gear. That came off. There's a washer there. Here's your oscillating arm, oscillation mechanism that fell out from the front. And you have this little plate right here. Here's your main gear with another plastic bushing, which goes on like that. So here's your pinion gear. There's a ball bearing right here. And to get this whole thing out, you have to unscrew this, and this is a reverse thread, and this one is stuck on there. So instead of taking the pliers or vice grips and trying to get that off and marring up that surface, and then you gotta, this slides up and down, so you don't want to do that. You can put a rag over it and grip it and try to get it off, but you don't want to force it too much. So what I usually do, if I can't get it off by hand or a little bit of pressure, I'll just slide the gear out like that. The shaft, WD-40 in here, toothbrush and stuff, clean it all out, put some fresh oil in it. The bearing is, test the bearing here, it's spinning fine. So we're not going to worry about that. And I find these reels, they work best if you just use a tiny bit of grease and quite a bit of oil. And this one's already been serviced, just like a take apart. So anyway, that's back in there. So let's put the main gear back in. It just fits in there with that bushing. And next, you want to put this plate back in. So it goes in like that. You see that little thing sticking out there, that nub. So this arm goes on there, and you have the, that's offset, so you might have to turn that and line it up so it fits in the slot. And this washer goes back on. And your anti-reverse gear goes back on. Like that. And you got a shim washer that goes on. So it's pretty straightforward reels. Your side plate with your bushing. Snaps back on there. Take your push button. Hopefully I'm keeping all this in frame. Notice the camera moved, so hopefully we got all of it. There's a large screw goes in here. Like I said, there's a lot of great spincast reels on the market. A lot of the old ones are really good as well. Like, it's the best one Daiwa I've ever made, and like I said, they still make it. They've been making it for years. And Zebco with that Omega Pro. That's a really nice reel too. I really like that one a lot. And they got a bullet as well, but I don't have that. It's really expensive, so I haven't bought it. Some nice Abu Garcias out there as well. And Cast King got a couple pretty good reels, but this is my favorite brand. And oh yeah, Johnson made some good reels too. So of course they have made them been in a business for a long time, but you can still get them used. Citation and Century are really good reels. Okay, the side plate is all back on. It's pretty straightforward. If you're on shore, you just take pictures or get a schematic where you're going. Now we're going to put the handle back on. Come over here, put the screw back on with that plastic insert. This is quite a bit of threads on it. Takes a while to get it in there. That's a nice feature though, if you're left-handed and you want to get one of these reels, you can just switch the handle pretty easily. You don't have to take anything apart inside, which is good. Tighten that up. Just going to use a quarter to get it tight. There's a little protective cap here that goes back on. Okay, so that's done. So let's turn the anti-reverse back and just give it a turn now, see if we did it right. Yeah, everything's good. That's the way it should be. And next we're going to assemble the drag. First you got this piece here, and this is bent, and there's a hole in it, and you would think that hole goes in over that, but this little protrusion right here that goes over, fits in there. And you got this piece right here, it's got two ears on it, and that goes across like that. And then that's actually your first metal washer, and you just put on a Teflon washer, your spool, another metal washer, Teflon washer, and your C-clip back on. Sometimes these can be a pain. If you got the drag loosened all the way, it's usually not bad. Yeah, back on easily. And all I got left now is the spinner head. So I usually hold the button in to get the shafts come out more. And this is D-shaped. Put that on and just take your little nut for the front cover. Use a quarter to tighten that up. And it's all back together. Put the front cover back on. That's it. And really nice reel. I mean, trouble-free is just a pleasure fishing with this reel. You're not going to have any snags or bind nuts inside or anything. And just for reference, like I said, gc100 ball bearing, 4:1 gear ratio. For line weight or line capacity, holds 100 yards of 8-pound line, 60 yards of 12-pound line. So that's the middle size. The smaller size holds 105 yards of 6-pound line, 55 yards of 10-pound line. And this one is not quite as smooth, but still it's a nice reel. So anyway, that's pretty simple, and don't be afraid to take apart these reels. Anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.